The smoke wasn't the first warning, it was the silence. The kind that tells you something irreversible has already started. I live just outside a polished, gated HOA neighborhood. Same road, same sky. None of their rules. My house is older, stubborn, and surrounded by a yard I intentionally let grow wild native plants, bee habitat, registered with the county, legally protected. To the HOA president, that made it an eyesore. To me, it was home. For months, the HOA Karen Angela Price made it her personal mission to fix my property. Notes on my fence, emails seeing half the neighborhood, photos taken from her golf cart. She called it community pride. I called it harassment, but then she escalated. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon while I was at work. My phone lit up with missed calls. Then a message from a neighbor. Are you aware people are spraying something in your yard? Minutes later, there's fire. By the time I arrived, my front yard was blackened and steaming. The fire department stood in a loose circle, faces tight. One of them handed me a report and said words that didn't make sense yet. Accelerant was used. Still, I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I watched. In the ash I found melted plastic nozzles, burn patterns that didn't match an accident, and a laminated flyer half used to the ground. HOA Landscape Improvement Initiative. Angela's name printed at the bottom. That night, I started building something far more dangerous than anger. A timeline. I pulled city burn ban records. I requested security footage from nearby homes. A landscaper came forward anonymously with a HOA paid listing vegetation removal. Expedited, I downloaded HOA meeting minutes where my address was discussed like a problem to be erased. And then I found the email. Angela had written, if enforcement doesn't work, we'll take direct action. That was the moment the story stopped being about grass. Charges were filed, property damage, reckless endangerment. The HOA lawyer tried to settle quietly. I refused. The hearing was scheduled for municipal court. Here's the part Angela didn't expect. The judge walked in, sat down, opened the file, and paused, because she knew me. I wasn't presiding, I'd already disclosed the conflict and stepped back weeks earlier. But the file had my supplemental documentation attached. Every photo, every timestamp, every email she thought was buried. Angela's confidence cracked when the judge read her own words out loud. When the fire investigator explained how the flames were guided, not accidental. When the video showed HOA workers lighting my yard while laughing, the courtroom went quiet. Heavy final. The judge looked up and said, this wasn't enforcement. This was punishment. The HOA Karen stared straight ahead as the ruling landed. Restitution, penalties, and a civil case greenlit before the echo faded. Now, when the wind moves through my rebuilt yard, it doesn't smell like smoke anymore. It smells like new growth. And every time someone slows down to look, I know they're seeing more than plants. They're seeing what happens when power finally reads the file.